Seema, in her 7th grade, is getting ready for school. Seema is more tense than usual. Her mother's words to have breakfast before leaving for school fell on deaf ears. Her father, a farmer, went to his paddy fields early in the morning. Seema is worried because she always believes that seeing her father in the morning on the day her examination results are going to be out brings her good luck. As this custom failed today, she is really restless. Seema got ready and came to the living room only to find her breakfast on the dining table, as well as her grandmother is already eating her food. Seema, with a sad face, started to eat, but her mind was racing against time. She saw that her teacher was mocking her in front of her classmates regarding her scores. She grew impatient, and food choked in her throat. Her grandmother helped her have some water. Grandmother smiled at her and said, "It's all right. Today is going to be fine." Seema forced a smile but could not. She somehow completed her food and started to leave. Her grandmother waved her by. Seema nodded instead of reciprocating it. On the way down the road, she sighed and thought about her math paper where she believed that some sheets with answers were missed, causing her to fail. Her heart rate started to rise. She stopped, then again started to walk. She felt that her English essay was going to be ridiculed by her teacher in front of the whole class, as it was the section meant to test the student's talent in writing on the spot. She thought the essay was the ridiculous things that happened to her recently. She stopped and drank some water from her bottle. With a sigh, she continued walking to school. Today, her school seemed to be more distant than before. Finally, she thought about the amoeba she drew in the zoology paper. It surfaced in her mind. She felt that even though amoebas are irregular in shape, the shape that she drew would be ridiculed by the entire amoeba community. She imagined her zoology teacher ridiculing it. All scenes were running in her mind. While all these thoughts flooded her mind, she did not see the lamppost right in front of her. She bumped into it, fell down, and lost consciousness. When she came back to her senses, she found herself in her room. Glancing at the wall clock, it said it was 12 in afternoon. She started to cry loudly, and her mother and grandmother rushed to the room, only to find her tense and tears streaming down her face. Her mother comforted her and explained that a neighbor had seen her unconscious, leading to the commotion that landed her in the room. Despite hearing the explanation, she still felt embarrassed and didn't stop crying. Her grandmother tried to lighten the mood by telling her that it's a great joke to race against time. Seema wondered about her grandmother's words, and she heard her friend's voice downstairs and called out, "Maya, I'm here, come to my room." She heard her friend's footsteps approaching. Her grandmother left the room with a smile, leaving the girl some private time. Maya, with a sorry expression, asked Seema, "Are you okay?" To which Seema nodded, but then asked about the answer sheets. Maya smiled and said, "Yeah, today we received our papers. And you know your papers are with our class tutor. Tomorrow morning you can collect yours." Seema nodded and wondered if she should ask about her results. Without knowing this confusion, Maya started to share how their English teacher appreciated Seema's essay. Seema sighed in relief, thinking, "So my essay was indeed good." When she heard that she scored around 90 in maths paper, Seema sighed again, realizing that her sheets weren't really missed, contrary to her worries. While Maya mentioned that she did well in her results, Seema couldn't stop herself from asking Maya about her amoeba in the zoology paper. Maya smiled and said, "That's the question which got everyone complete 5 marks because amoeba has no definite shape." Seema nodded in relief. As Maya started to leave, both exchanged a hug and Maya left. Finally, Seema's grandmother entered Seema's room with a plate full of biscuits. Seema took one biscuit and asked her grandmother to explain her words. Her grandmother smiled and said, "It is completely explained already. Isn't it a joke for you to think that your maths paper was missing some sheets? Isn't it a joke to think your essay is ridiculed by your class before it happened?" Seema blinked. Her grandmother continued, saying She heard Seema talking in her sleep last night. Seema smiled with embarrassment and asked, "Why didn't you ask me about my results?" To which Seema's grandmother answered, "I could see it in your relaxed and happy face." She patted Seema on her head and left the room, repeating, "It's dangerous too," to race against time. Seema nodded as if she understood her grandmother's words very clearly because the pain in her head from hitting the lamppost assured her about the danger element associated with this race. With a smile regarding her overthinking mind, she seemed to pinch herself as if telling her that from this day she should stop being in the drama of overthinking. Then Seema saw her father enter her room with a sorry face. He apologized to her for not being here this morning. If not, she would not be this unlucky today. To which Seema smiled and said, "Dad, overthinking is dangerous," and hugged her father. Her father smiled and patted her head. Seema's life looked more relaxed to her after her divorce with her overthinking self. She began to dream of a beautiful life with a quality to embrace the life as it happens. The end. So, friends, now the most important part, the connection between the story and self love. What if Seema is you or us and grandmother is life? Can you understand? Let me elaborate. We often find ourselves caught in the drama of overthinking, draining our energy. In extreme cases, it can lead us to the depression ward of any reputable psychiatry department in a hospital. Do we really need to end up there? I hope no. So, what should we do here? It's very easy to stop this overthinking self of ours when it tries to enter our mind garden. Just apply brakes at the right time when it is trying to take you for a race against time. It's always better to see the scene unfolding than come up with the probabilities, as probabilities won't have an end. If you're not ready to steer your mind away from the lane of overthinking by applying brakes, life will give more and more lampposts for you to reflect upon yourself. So I think it's better with a single lamppost than with an infinite number of them ready to make us realize the lessons that life is really trying to teach. Such lessons are painful, so let's smile with relaxation rather than flinch in pain infinite times. So, friends, think about it. Tell me about your point of view regarding the same and as well as your own experiences in the comment section. By telling you all this, your moon friend is vanishing with a very last question to you guys. Friends, just subscribe to be my friend.